This week's episode is brought to you by the UWM Professional Cinema Society, a group dedicated to bringing the film community at UWM together. For more information, please find our Facebook page and look out for more announcements coming up this upcoming semester. Now, on with the show.
Broadcasting live from the Griffith Observatory at 4 a.m., this is Pop Culture Reference, your one-stop reference for all things pop culture. I'm Garrett Strother.
I'm Seamus Connolly.
What up? I'm Ricardo. Hi, hello. This is season 2, baby.
Yeah,
Season 2 of
welcome.
Pop Culture Reference.
It's 2020. Everything's different. New format, new hosts. We're passing it off. Nothing's the same. It's not about pop culture anymore.
It's about
Pop Filter Reference.
Oh yeah, that's our with all of our new holiday equipment here. Hopefully it's going to sound better than usual, but I don't even want to call that out maybe.
Well, we apologize for the echo. We're recording in the Chicago Public Library right now because we don't have a proper recording studio down here in Chicago, but we are recording, so that's really what matters, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And we're recording some very good content today, I think. This is I'm excited to do our main stuff, but
despite the fact that we took a week off, there wasn't really a lot of news.
I was going to say the same thing. There wasn't a ton of stuff that I saw that I thought I wanted to bring to the table today.
Well, I've got the Quiet Place Part 2 trailer.
I didn't even know they dropped a trailer.
Unnecessary.
Yeah, I really liked the first Quiet Place. I like movies that give me a sandbox and play in it well.
Is it the same family?
It is. I'm actually pretty refreshed by this because it looks like it's going to jump back and forth in time a little bit, or at least maybe have a prologue that's set during the initial onslaught of what happened. Like, you know how they have day whatever in the first movie structure? It's going to be, they're going to show us day one and what happened the first day the monsters started taking over. And then it's a jump forward in time when it takes place right after the end of the first movie, and they're fleeing their camp and they run into other humans.
Well, I'm definitely interested to see. I hope it's true about the prologue part, because there's like, I think in the original there's like, they have newspapers on the walls. They're just like mysterious objects from space crash into Earth, and then the one next to it's like aliens don't make noise, and then it's they don't really. I don't know. I want to see that initial panic. That's probably going to be pretty intense stuff. There's
a really bad exposition chalkboard in there.
Oh, in the first one?
In the first one,
yeah. It's a lot of that stuff.
I'm intrigued. I'm not saying I'm necessarily excited, but I'm intrigued.
Hey, you know what? It's another opportunity for them to officially fold it into the Cloververse, so I'll give it a shot. That first one was this close to being a Cloverfield movie, and they got another chance.
Are we gonna cover Quiet Place when that one comes out, guys? You think?
Oh, that could be a good thing. I haven't seen the first one since the theaters, and I don't know if the experience will be the same, like watching it at home. But it'll probably be good to revisit.
What's the release date on this one?
March 20th.
All right.
Yeah, I think that's all we have to say about this. The only other bit of news that I really have is, did you guys see that Twitter meme going around where it was 2020, like in big letters, and then there was your New Year's resolution or something that you're going to do in 2020 in the middle of the big block letters?
I have not seen that, but is there something exciting?
Disney Plus jumped on that bandwagon and tweeted out WandaVision.
Oh yeah,
that got bumped up.
Thank
goodness.
So I'm very excited for WandaVision, despite the absolutely terrible name for that show.
I'm hoping that they'll justify that in some way.
Yeah,
I'm excited. Everything about it just sounds so weird. Parts of it are going to be shot in front of a live studio audience. It's weirdly got sitcom influences for no reason.
It's going to be dimension hopping. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited for this for the same reason. I'm excited for Multiverse of Madness, just because it's like they're going weird with Marvel, and that's, they're at that time. They're in that territory. They've done everything conventional they can, and they can do the weirdest stuff now, and we're all captive.
Well, when it comes out, we'll be doing our weekly recap of that, too.
Oh, there's going to be so many Marvel show recaps on this show. It's going to be too much when they're all out at once.
Yeah, it's going to be a little overwhelming, I suspect. But that's all I've got for news, so should we move on to our main segment?
I think we should.
Walt Disney Pictures presents The Rocketeer. This is our first Disney Plus Vault Deep Dive, where at a regular interval we're going to take a look into one of the maybe overlooked gems that's on Disney Plus that's been uncovered from the vault. And I brought in, for this episode, The Rocketeer.
I've never seen The Rocketeer until last night. I've always heard good things about it, and I've always wanted to watch it. I just never really got around to it. It is so much Indiana Jones, The Mummy.
Yeah, it's a
very
movie.
Yeah, it was
There's
great.
a lot less rocketeering in it than I thought there was going to be.
I thought he gets like a gun, like a special gun at one point. Like I thought it was gonna be a little more Iron Man-y, but I guess the point was to not have it be that. He was like a symbol or whatever.
I've not read the comic book, but I think more stuff like that happens in the comic book.
I would definitely watch
This is
or
based on
read
a
it.
comic book?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
based
dude,
on
you didn't
a
know that?
series of graphic novels. So yeah, this movie stars Billy Campbell, who never did anything else ever again.
I was gonna say he's so much of a Ryan Reynolds boy in this movie that he could have done anything he wanted in the 90s. I don't know what
think
happened.
he has big Brendan Fraser vibes.
Yes,
I see
yes,
that.
exactly.
But it's also got Jennifer Connelly, Timothy Dalton, Alan Arkin, John Polito. Great cast.
It was really. What's the character's name? The bad guy?
The bad guy, Neville Sinclair. Our hero is named Cliff Secord. Both are great names.
Neville Sinclair is the best person in this whole movie. He is so full of fun. Like in this movie, he's an actor. And he's doing a movie that is ostensibly just like Princess Bride / Robin Hood.
Yeah, it's a Robin Hood movie.
And
Is he supposed to be based on Errol Flynn?
Yeah, he's very clearly based on Errol Flynn, who many people suspect of being a Nazi spy, so...
Well, that is terrible. And the famous aviator who is in this movie who makes the jetpack.
Howard Hughes.
Howard Hughes is in it. There's some
Leonardo
fun...
DiCaprio.
Yeah, I thought Howard Hughes was supposed to be like a psycho. Why
He
is he
was,
like
This
yeah.
is pre-Psycho.
stark, like building technology against the Nazi stuff?
I understand that in the comic books, there was a character from a different comic book that was like a Tony Stark-esque character that built the jetpack, but then they couldn't license that character for the movie.
Well, what the heck?
So that they just plopped Howard Hughes in, which I think works just
No,
fine.
yeah, it works definitely. When there's a scene where there's a model of a plane.
The Spruce Goose.
That's what I thought was the Spruce Goose. Yeah, sorry, I got that historical joke. I get things.
I thought that was really good. I love Terry O'Quinn. He's John Locke on Lost, most famously, but he's in a lot of really good things.
We're really gonna have to do a Lost catch-up series of
God.
episodes because you talk about Lost so much on this show. I guess it comes up naturally so much on this show.
I don't think Lost is worth our time, other than the fact that it has touched so much other cultural stuff from the
that's
last
true.
decade, you know.
All those people in Star Wars and all that.
J.J. Abrams' entire career thanks to Lost.
Yeah, pretty much. God.
We should have seen it coming.
Yeah.
Truly.
Well, it is what it is.
Yeah, this movie, very Indiana Jones, is like the biggest thing. Plus, I mean, like Indiana Jones, The Rocketeer, Nathan Drake, and Brendan Fraser and the Mummy all wear the same outfit of like leather boots, a
lot of brown.
shirt, yeah, a scarf, but like suspenders to go with it, swoopy hair that's too swoopy for the era for sure.
Well, now we've got Poe Dameron in Rise of Skywalker.
Add that in there because it's the
Yeah.
exact same outfit again.
We love it though. It looks
Yeah,
great. It's a
every
great
time
look.
I see it, I'm like, this guy's a hero type, isn't he? He's
What'd
gonna crack wise.
What'd you guys think of the Rocketeer's outfit?
I think it's awesome.
I want the helmet.
I want the jacket. The jacket was the coolest part of that whole thing for me, like the whatever you call that. Where you
All
like,
the buttons.
yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
The helmet though, I'd put that on a shelf. It's an awesome design character. I mean, it's very.
Which is why I thought there'd be more rocketeering in this movie.
I will say some of the effects on the Rocketeering are a little dated.
Yeah, definitely.
My little brother was like cracking up on a lot of those green screen parts.
I do think the part where he, on his first proper flight as the Rocketeer, when he flies up next to the plane, looks really good still.
Yeah,
I think
I'll
that
give it that.
actually is really compelling. It looks like Iron Man, but
How does he not have like 3rd-degree burns all over the back of his legs and ass?
The guy modified it or whatever.
In my head, I remember them making some kind of comment about him having flame-retardant pants, but nope, that is not in the movie.
Maybe that's just part of the
You
lore.
know, it's my headcanon. He's wearing flame-retardant pants.
Yeah, sure. He's
whatever.
an aviator. He's got stuff like that lying around to make sure he doesn't burst into flames.
So this movie follows down on his luck pilot Cliff Secord and his roommate Doc Brown. PV, played by Alan Arkin, and Cliff, that is dating Jennifer Connelly, 20-year-old Jennifer Connelly.
I was gonna say, is she like 13 years old in this movie?
She is so young.
She's very young in this movie. I get distracted. I got distracted a lot in this movie with. It's 1938.
So the U.S. has not entered the war with Germany yet.
Right, and the Nazi blimp is on a peace, like a world peace tour.
World peace tour.
That
was the Hindenburg.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, they made a big point of like how flammable the blimp was to make sure like don't do anything to it. It'll kill everyone. Yeah, it will.
So yeah, Cliff finds a jetpack developed by Howard Hughes and uses it to become a superhero after a older pilot steals an airplane. Cliff is supposed to fly a rickety old plane in a clown costume.
Oh,
but Cliff is a few minutes
he's
late. So in order to try to save the day, this older pilot tries his hand at it, but then of course something goes wrong, and Cliff has to go save him.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Like you said, Ricardo, there's not like as much rocketeering as I thought there would be or wanted there to be. But when he does strap that thing on and go at it, it is very fun. Even with the dated effects, it looks really, really good.
Well, when he's up on the plane, it looks really good.
Yeah,
because I'm suspecting that they had an actual stuntman strapped to an actual plane.
Yeah. That's like a thing, like the biplane stunts like that, where you just kind of like screw around on the wings and stuff.
Tom Cruise is the Rocketeer.
I would watch that remake.
No kidding. I think the effects in this movie, other than some of the green screen effects of him flying, are outstanding.
No, yeah, like the actual jetpack is like very convincing to me. Like it looks and feels like a jetpack of just like blasting fire.
So Neville Sinclair, for unknown reasons, is after the jetpack, but we also have working in his stead the mob.
Yeah,
the mob's in this
and he has like his own private enforcer, Lothar.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
But that actor, does he look like that?
No,
Should I
the
feel
actor,
that?
no.
Oh, thank God!
He's actually in the stadium during the airplane rescue sequence at the beginning of the movie.
Oh, like the guy
with makeup.
makeup.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm glad he got his face on screen a little bit.
No.
Yeah, because
he's a Dick Tracy villain for no reason. Like
right. He's like, but he's also like the Terminator, kind of. He's just like unstoppable and so strong.
Well, I love it when one of the mobsters points his Tommy gun at him and he says, "Relax, Frankenstein, you ain't bulletproof."
Yeah, ooh, it's got a lot of good 30s banter stuff like that.
Oh, everything with the mob is fantastic. I love everything with the mob.
I want to get to there's the end part that is so good that the head mobster guy says, who's like from The Godfather. Why is that guy a familiar mobster to me?
I'll look him up real quick.
He's in like a serious mob movie where he's like one of the like lieutenant guys.
Oh, he's in tons of stuff. Paul Sorvino. I forgot to mention him at the beginning. Paul Sorvino.
Yeah, Paul Sorvino.
He's in Goodfellas.
Okay, yeah, that's what it is. I knew he was in
See Spot Run.
He was in what?
It's a movie about a dog.
No, but Paul Sorvino is wonderful in this movie.
In this movie specifically, yes. We'll come back to whatever C-Spot Run. Good God.
But what were you saying about Paul Sorvino at the end?
Oh, are we just... Because it's a line that kind of goes into the...
I think we have pretty much broken the spoiler. I'll just mark this all as spoilers anyway.
Yeah, okay. So...
If it was not clear already, if you don't want to be spoiled for the Rocketeer...
So, Timothy... Dalton.
Neville Sinclair
is revealed that his motivations for getting the jetpack and at this point kidnapping Jennifer Connelly?
Kidnapping and attempting to sexually assault Jennifer Connelly.
That was also very much Raiders of the Lost Ark for me, where he's like, put on this dress in this Nazi camp in Egypt and like just be my pretty kidnapped person.
Because she's a woman in the 30s.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What was she? There's a great fight scene with Lothar, I think in the Hindenburg or later in the movie, and there's like a million opportunities for Jennifer Connelly to do anything to help, and she's damseling it up in the corner, you know, like you have to, as a woman in the 30s or whatever.
I will say this movie does give her a little bit more agency than a lot of movies of its ilk do.
Yeah,
because
I like her line where she gets to say, like, oh, I finally did a scene with, like, Neville Sinclair.
Oh, yeah, that was good too, yeah.
Because she tricks him. She makes him think that she's seducing him, but she hits him over the head with a vase.
Which happens twice in this movie? Doesn't she, like, hit multiple people over the head?
There's a lot of vases in this movie.
Yeah, I love that.
Because she hits somebody else over the head with a statue in the club.
That's right,
yeah.
Yes.
See, she does stuff.
Yeah, she does stuff. I don't know what I'm talking
She saves
about.
the Rocketeer's life more than once.
That's true. I'll give you that. But, good lord, where was I even going? Oh yeah, Neville
I may
Sinclair.
be a mobster scumbag, but I'm an American
Yeah,
mobster
he just says
scumbag.
like, I'm 100% American, and it's like all the mobsters turn their guns on the Nazis, and the revealed Sinclair is a Nazi spy thing, and it's
Wants to give Nazis jetpacks.
yeah. Oh,
They fly now.
oh God, don't even give me that. Ugh.
What did you guys think of the really descriptive newsreel thing that Howard Hughes shows our hero?
Are you talking about the like propaganda of Nazis, jet Nazis taking over everything? I honestly loved that. That would have scared me in the 30s. I would have been all on board.
But I love that the mobsters and the FBI team up to kill the Nazis.
Yeah,
it's my favorite thing.
Super cheesy, but it's a pulp movie. I'll give it that.
Yeah, it's totally within its bounds to be like, it's like first it's like the mobsters with the Nazis, then the Rocketeer shows up, then it's the Rocketeer and the mobsters, and then the FBI shows up, and it's the FBI and the mobsters and the Rocketeer versus the other Nazis, and it's
Which there were so many Nazis out of nowhere. He just
Yeah, they
screams
all-
in German and they all come out of the woods.
Oh, wait, does Sinclair have like a weird pseudo accent
He
when
does.
he reveals his Nazi?
I completely forgot this. It's probably been 10 years since I'd seen this movie.
It's so weird.
And I'd completely forgotten that after he reveals himself to be a Nazi spy, he also starts doing a German accent.
But it's like a German accent said through an English accent, so it's like really broken and weird, and it's in English still, so it just makes no sense. It's very funny. I think
It's fun.
You can only hear it in his voice for like a couple lines, enough for you to go like, is he and then you just kind of you let it pass, and then it's over.
Mm-hmm. They have a really good setup, callback, payoff in the gum.
Oh yeah, the gum thing.
So throughout the movie, every time that Cliff is going to fly a plane, he sticks a little bit of gum on the tail for luck. And then once he starts flying the jetpack, he starts sticking it on the jetpack. But then later, after a bullet hits the fuel and the fuel starts leaking, they use the gum to cover it up. But then at the end, what happens, Seamus?
There's a great, it's between Lothar's back, right? Isn't that with him? Where he's like trying to hand off the jetpack. And
No, Lothar, he's already disposed of Lothar Lothar is like
oh
tethered
yeah,
to the
he's tethered to the
Zeppelin.
side of the Zeppelin, which, I loved how they finished that. But yeah, he sneaks off the gum and it starts leaking again, and
Sinclair tries to escape the Zeppelin.
it almost is like a Wile E. Coyote, like caught in the air in my mind, where he explodes into fire and like falls to the earth, crushing the land portion of the Hollywood land sign. Another kind of like Forrest Gumpy, like look at this historical thing, but I really liked
it
that.
though.
Yeah, it was fun. It was very funny. And of course, Lothar again is the only name I'm gonna remember. But he's tethered to the top, and he makes a comeback, and they're all running to the edge of the Zeppelin as it's exploding, and he gets like yanked back because he can't get the belt off, and a lot of people burn to death in this movie. A lot of Nazis.
People burn to death in this movie, including the one in the real footage that Howard Hughes shows them when they're testing their jetpack.
Oh God, is that
one Nazi just straight up explodes?
Oh yeah, God, yeah, that
like
was
a combat Carl from Toy Story 1.
God, combat Carl. Oh man, and,
who owns the rights to the Rocketeer right now?
Disney. It's on Disney Plus.
Just cross them over.
I was gonna bring that up of like, why not?
Well, Joe Johnston directed this movie, and
Exactly.
because of this movie, he got to direct Captain America: The First Avenger.
Just make
Wait,
them
for
the same.
real?
For real. The final shot of Captain America: The First Avenger is kids pretending to be Captain America, and the
Oh my
final shot of
God.
this movie is kids pretending to be the Rocketeer.
I forgot about that. That's great. I was a little sad at the end there that I guess the jetpack blows up and Howard Hughes just gives him a brand new airplane, but
They set him up for a sequel where
No,
Jennifer
yeah.
Connelly
she has the plans for the jetpack hidden away. Ooh.
and
I
Alan
thought,
Arkin's got all the plans about how to make the jetpack better.
I thought Howard Hughes was
Jennifer
gonna like.
Connelly gets a jetpack.
Well,
That
that's
would be amazing.
I'd watch that movie.
isn't that kind of the follow-up show that's airing now? Is the
There's-
daughter of?
Oh, is that already out?
No, it's about to come out.
Oh, it's about to come out.
And I believe what the deal is that it's set in the modern day, so it's Cliff's granddaughter, and Billy Campbell is voicing his own character's son, and so that's the.
I like that. I like a good legacy like that. And if it's, is it like a super little kids show?
Yeah,
or
it's a
is it-
super little kid show.
damn it,
I will
never
not
mind.
be watching it.
Oh, man.
Disney Junior.
That's a shame.
It's
They
like a
could've
Paw
made
Patrol.
like a Star Wars Rebels level Rocketeer show. I would watch that.
Maybe in 10 years, after all the kids who love it now grow up with
Oh
it.
yeah, they'll be like, yeah, I remember the Rocketeer in 2020. They'll be like, what are you talking about? God, I'd like to get my hands on some of those comics, some of those graphic novels.
Yeah, I think it would be nice to
We should have looked
check
around
some of those out.
here before we started recording to see if they had any. We're in the graphic novel section.
That is true. We are in the recording booth, right? Or, well, the study room.
Study
We're in a
room, yeah.
room.
A dirty, ugly room.
There are shoe soles over there.
It was covered in garbage when we walked in. It's great. Nah, it's a free room. We didn't have to do anything for it. It's
That's
the best
true.
we're gonna
Literally,
get.
they didn't even hold my ID, which it says on the website they're supposed to. I propose a rating system for our Disney Plus vault.
Oh,
Do we say take it out of the vault, or do we say keep it in the vault?
as in,
Oh,
which one is bad?
if
are
we-
we like removing it
No,
forever,
no,
or like taking
if,
it out
if we
into the
like
sunlight?
it, if we like it, take it out of the vault and bring it out into the sunshine and share it with the world. And if we don't like it, we put it back in the vault.
Just bury it on the other
Top
villains and titles on Disney
Men,
Plus.
just like Raiders ending. I keep bringing up Indiana Jones, but it works. You bury it in the sea of wooden crates.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I like this rating system.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and kick it off and say, take it out of the vault. More than that, bring it into new stuff more than just a little kids show. I think the world is ready for the Rocketeer again.
Agreed. I mean, yeah, bring it out. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, totally.
Mobsters and Nazis fighting each other. This is the movie America needs right now.
I
So
think so.
take it out of the vault.
Captain America's gone. The Rocketeer is back.
I would really like them to release. Well, next year is the 30th anniversary. They did a 20th anniversary Blu-ray release, which was nothing. It was literally just an HD version of the movie, and that was it. And I'd really like them to do one where they.
Like a proper, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Comes with a box that looks like the helmet or the jetpack or something.
Criterion, where you at?
Criterion, where are you at with that Rocketeer?
Have you seen the incredible poster for this movie?
I don't know if I have.
Because the poster that they use for all the home video releases is a terrible poster.
Oh no.
It's just like the head, like floating head poster. I've already posted this on Twitter actually, so if you go back and look a couple tweets ago, we already tweeted out this photo because it was the one I used to promote this episode.
The suspense is killing me.
This was the original theatrical release poster.
That's
I think I've
awesome.
seen that,
That's
yeah.
super dope. I definitely have seen that in the past without
great,
like
like
any
Art
context.
Deco
It's
style.
very cool. It reminds me of like what is that? That's like World's Fair
Oh, very
style.
World's Fair,
like-
very 30s.
Yeah, very exhibition. Like come one, come all, come see the Rocketeer.
I
it's
love
very
it
cool.
so much. My parents have a vintage one from when it was in the theater. rolled up in a closet, and I want to get it framed.
Oh, yeah, that's not on display? You gotta bring that out of the vault, man. You gotta bring that out.
All right, do we have any final thoughts on The Rocketeer before we move on?
Two thumbs up.
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus. Check it out.
The Rocketeer soars, says the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel.
Peter Travers of Rolling Stone raves.
Yeah, re-release it in the theaters. That's all.
I would love that. I would go.
That'd be fun.
Let's move on to Where's Riley? Seamus, I accidentally already showed you this text message. Ricardo, where's Riley?
By the way, I already forgot.
Right, it's the holiday. He's probably at home.
Couldn't think of anything
by the
more.
Fireplace.
Can't think of anything more interesting than that, Ricardo.
Phoenix, Arizona.
By a fireplace for some reason.
He is at his girlfriend's house in Glenview, Illinois. And he wanted me to note that that's not to be confused with Glencoe, Illinois, where they shot the exterior shots of the McAllister house in Home Alone. It was important to him that I mentioned that.
Our viewers need to be herded into, our listeners need to be herded into a very specific view of where Riley's girlfriend's village is.
Today's pop culture reference is the pulp film, also sometimes referred to as the genre film, I think more commonly now, which is a movie that takes a genre that's generally considered schlockier, so adventure, science fiction, horror, and adapting that into a film. The Rocketeer is a great example of an adventure pulp film, The Mummy, Indiana Jones, but you also have movies like, Star Wars would have considered a pulp film.
Flash Gordon, which is just Star Wars again.
Yeah.
Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow is just the Rocketeer, but if he still had a plane. So it's another pulp one.
I love pulp films. Most of my favorite movies, honestly, are pulp films.
They're usually the ones that you come out of not thinking like, oh, that is like needs all the awards, but like you have a lot of fun watching them. It's usually an incredibly just enjoyable experience, and that's why I like them a lot.
They are also usually sillier, more violent, have more sex than your average film, which is because they were based on Pulp Fiction novels, which you may recognize as where Tarantino got the name of his pulpy
fiction.
Yeah.
Whatever.
No, I didn't like that at all.
His crime movie.
Yeah. Yeah, crime movies often are very pulpy. All right, let's move on to Mando Bros.
I'm excited for this one, guys. This is, I've been watching all these episodes alone as they come out, because I'm not living with anyone who's like caught up or like has the need to feel caught up every time there's an episode. So sitting alone and like tearing up at a Star Wars show like early in the morning when it came out felt weird, but it felt so appropriate because this episode was incredible.
Yeah, I think this is a really great episode.
They set up an incredible season finale in the first part of this two-part thing here.
Yeah, it really is a two-part finale.
Yeah, it feels like that a lot, and they did everything that you could have asked for, really. Everything. It felt emotionally, like, real. Sometimes you kind of disassociate emotions with some Star Wars stuff because it seems like a lot in an already, fantastical universe that you sometimes can't take super seriously. But this season finale of The Mandalorian was like over the top. Everything was great.
Well, when we last left our heroes, everybody was pinned down in the cantina where Werner Herzog just got shot through the chest.
Bam! Got everything in his chest blown out the back.
Queel has been killed by scout troopers on speeder bikes.
Queel and the Blurgs. my new metal band based in the Star Wars Cantina universe.
And now the scout troopers have Baby Yoda.
Great cold open, by the way, with the scout troopers.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Adam Pally and Jason Sudeikis as the scout troopers.
I wish I knew
hanging out, punching babies.
Yeah, they have the baby. They're like, I like this bit that they're like waiting to go back because they don't want to make Gideon angry because he keeps just killing the people who are questioning him.
Very Vader-esque.
Very Vader-esque. They keep like radioing back like, is it okay yet? And they're like, well, he just killed another officer for speaking up, so maybe wait a minute. And
Moff Gideon being Giancarlo Esposito as showing up at the end of the last episode.
Yeah, he's so good in this show. And he's only been in it for 2 episodes.
Who knows a lot about our heroes.
Oh yeah, God, he reveals quite a bit about a lot of the main characters in there.
We get Mando's name.
Yes, we do.
Oh, we get a lot more than his name this episode.
Din Djarin.
Din. I can remember Din.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna call him
The
Mando.
Mandalorian.
I'll call him Mando. I just like the nickname Mando. It feels right.
But the scout troopers get, caught off guard by IG-11.
Oh, yeah.
The true MVP of this episode.
Yeah,
Really?
oh my God. Like I said, I was watching it alone, and when they start, wailing on the bag that Baby Yoda is in before IG-11 shows up, I had a knee jerk, I sat up and I verbally out loud, I was like, no, what? What is no?
You can't punch a Muppet.
Yeah, I was horrified watching that. That's why I was rubbing my hands together, someone is gonna come along in a second and destroy these guys, and I'm not gonna feel bad. And
real quick, I like the visual, they can't shoot.
Oh yeah, that was also
really
very funny added. Thought it was interesting that they were scout troopers that couldn't hit anything.
But IG-11 shows up, and Ricardo's prediction was right.
I love it. It gave me what I wanted.
Yeah, oh my God.
IG-11, Baby Bjorn, dual wielding.
Which I
On
was
a speeder bike.
on a speeder bike. I don't remember if you said that prediction on air or if I agreed with it, which I probably did because that sounded awesome from the beginning. But I definitely thought of you when it's he's doing a lot more of that spinny rotation body head, no look, going so fast through this town. I
love it when he speeds past the Jawa and the stormtrooper, and the Jawa's just confused.
Yeah, God.
He's shooting all the stormtroopers through town, and then we get a great action sequence out in the area outside the cantina with IG-11, Carl Weathers, Kara, and the Mandalorian all taking down stormtroopers.
Yeah, it's a honest-to-goodness Western shootout. The Spanish army showed up, and
it was fantastic.
It was
I loved it.
Good. Mando's name was revealed. It was revealed that Kara, the shock trooper, is Kara something of Alderaan, which was a pretty big
from
reveal.
Alderaan.
It's Mando and Baby Yoda, regardless of when they name him next season.
We get the Mandalorian's face. They took the helmet off. Finally.
Yes, IG-11, he permits IG-11 to remove his helmet to heal him because IG-11 is not a living thing.
Yeah, he's really talking him around like, you're being stupid, let me spray you with Bacta in the head.
So Bacta is not just a thing that you immerse yourself in a tank of.
It could just be anything. It could be a syringe or a spray, it doesn't matter.
I guess it was somewhere in Pedro Pascal's contract. My face has to be in there at some point.
Yeah.
Well, I'm surprised that it was not more of a reveal. It was just Pedro Pascal under there.
Me too. I was expecting
a different guy.
I was expecting an alien or maybe half of his face would be cybernetic or something like that.
But something that makes me happy is that they're using it for storytelling and not for shock value mystery box stuff. Is that now that he is more comfortable with droids, that he's opening himself up to other people, that is when he's allowing his helmet to come off.
And I like that he still has his little mustache.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that
me too.
For some reason trims, even though he doesn't show his face to anybody.
It's for him. It's for himself.
Yeah, I thought that myself, Ricardo.
We kind of brushed over how epic this gunfight was, where he picks up the big machine gun laser, and they kind of get re-cornered again back in the bar, but they really do take out a lot of stormtroopers.
And then they escape into the sewers where all of the Mandalorians have been wiped out.
Yeah, they find that pile of the gilded armor, which is it's a bummer. It's a bummer to see.
And the only...
I legit gasped when I saw it. I was like, oh no.
I was kind of expecting... they did mention in that scene, some people escaped, a lot of them didn't. I'm hoping we see that heavy guy again.
We'll see him. We would have seen his helmet if we were going to see him.
Yeah, that's true. I like that guy a lot.
But the only Mandalorian left in the sewers is the Mandalorian blacksmith, who is creating new Beskar out of the discarded helmet.
She's salvaging what she can from all the dead Mando armor.
And she gives the Mandalorian a new signet, that of the Mudhorn.
Yeah.
That was the real emotional bit.
What did she said like clan of two?
Yeah.
Until then, you are acting like as his father. You are a clan of two, and it's just, oh.
Yeah.
So Baby Yoda is a foundling. Baby Yoda is a Mandalorian.
Yeah, we could potentially, depending on how many seasons we get, little baby Mando Yoda.
Well, which begs the question, who is the Mandalorian in the title? Is it Din Djarin or is it Baby Yoda?
Oh my god! I love that.
We're gonna get Baby Yoda, little Muppet baby, in full Mandalorian armor.
Imagine that little goofball with a jetpack with his ears sticking out of the helmet. Are you kidding me? That's a Funko Pop right there.
I'm just saying, if Din Djarin gets killed, who's going to step up and be the new Mandalorian?
That's the question.
And Din Djarin, he's Baby Yoda's father. He gets the signet, the clan of two. Baby Yoda's going to be Mandalorian, and he gets his jetpack.
He does get his jetpack.
Another great reveal.
Yeah. I was afraid they were going to milk that a little bit with the whole, like, I got to get me one of those line, and it was going to be, like, maybe next season
thing.
where he just, like, keep seeing stuff like that, but I'm so glad they got that. And in the scene right after that, it was one of my other favorite parts. I think that female, like, clan leaders, the Armorer, I want to say is her actual name, is the Mandalorian Armorer.
And she gets one of the most brutal action sequences I've seen on this show.
Such a good beatdown of, like, she has, like, two, like, welding, smithing tools that she just
wails on
like
stormtroopers.
Breaks eye visors and like bones, breaking arms.
Sends one straight into the molten
yes.
Beskar.
Ooh, that was such a good. I was hoping she was gonna do that, and I
wailing on this guy on the floor with a hammer. You can see bits of armor fly off.
But we get their escape. They're going to escape through the lava river.
And now the real MVP of this episode.
The best line in this whole series so far is when they get to the lava river and they look at this river of flowing lava, and Carl Weathers goes, "That's the lava river."
I didn't even notice that. That's so funny. Oh, Carl Weathers. I hope we see more of him later. But back to my real MVP of this episode. The best new character of any Star Wars. Arms and legs R2 unit. Gondola unit. I want that droid's operating number so I can request him as a Black Series.
I just want to keep calling him Arms and Legs R2-D2.
I went on the Reddit after I watched that episode, and everyone's posts were like, "This droid is going to give me nightmares." Like, I was so scared when I saw this, but I was like...
Well, it's such a good reveal because he's covered in all this rubble and you don't even think he works. And then when they get the gondola going, he's like, "Ooh," and they're like, "Oh, great, an R2 unit," and then he stands.
It was almost like they were surprised. That has to be like an established thing in universe where that's not like the one and only arms and legs unit.
Well, maybe it is. Maybe it's just a retrofitted R2
custom
unit.
I like to think they can all do that. They just this one chooses to have arms and legs.
That's so funny. I wanna see like that kind of robot as the next quirky robot side character in a Star Wars story movie, because you know they can't not have one. So make it that guy. Make him be able to talk.
With the entrance of one quirky robot, brings the passing of another.
Yeah, this is a lot of ups and downs in the scene. I was riding that arms and legs robot high until IG-11 lays out his plan for survival, for at least Baby Yoda's survival, which is what he's calculating for.
They realize that waiting at the end of the tunnel is an entire battalion of stormtroopers, that they are sitting Minox and they're going to be destroyed the second they get outside that tunnel. So IG-11's plan of action is to walk through the lava river and self-destruct.
His directives let him, like, if he's damaged enough, he can blow up, ensuring the survival of Baby Yoda and everybody on the gondola, slowly getting towards the entrance.
Yep.
And I guess Mando gets over his droid racism.
Yeah, I think with the whole like revealing his face to IG-11, he got a lot more of like a understanding and appreciation, and probably with Queel being gone, he kind of took to heart like droids are. What was it? It was droids are just a reflection of whoever programmed them. So I think he started to kind of.
Yeah, I think part of it is him dealing with Queel's death and not wanting to let IG-11 go, the last part of Queel that he has.
I'm not sad.
Yeah, he said, I'm not sad. Yes, you are. What does he say? I'm like a nurse droid. I analyzed your voice. Like, you can't hide from me, Mando. I know you're crying under that helmet.
But IG-11 may have saved them from the stormtroopers, but there's still one baddie left.
Oh yeah, they make
Gus
it to the
Fring
end.
in space.
Exactly. Gus Fring in a TIE fighter and his custom. I don't even know if we talked about it last week. His awesome, like, folding wing TIE fighter.
It's pretty great.
He gets back in that bad boy, and he's zeroed in on him pretty well. They're kind of screwed. They keep trying to take pop shots with their blasters, but we get a very intense, very cool sequence right here
where the Mandalorian bursts with his jetpack up into the
rocketeers.
sky.
Yeah, he rocketeers.
A lot of good rocketeering in this.
We do have a lot of good rocket content this week, and it's an awesome. He's utilizing his like wire thing, his
grappling hook.
his grappling hook wire out of his wrist a lot in this show, which I think is like the coolest. And he kind of drags himself behind this TIE fighter for a while, trying to screw with Gus Fring.
Very Indiana Jones.
Very Indiana Jones.
And he downs this TIE fighter.
Yeah, he once again he uses one of those like sticky mine bomb things to
the Han and Chewie detonators.
Yeah, the Han and Chewie detonators. Sure, he uses that to blow the wing off of Gideon's ship, and his ship crashes in the distance, but not with a fiery explosion. Very specifically.
Mm-hmm. Carl Weathers and Carr are going to stay behind, and Mando and Baby Yoda are off to bury Queel and go off into space.
I'm go find his people.
Yeah, it seems like the whole setup now given by the armorer is to go find the origins of the Yoda species, which is like a lot bigger of a thing than I'm sure.
Still don't know why John Carlos Esposito even wants Baby Yoda.
Yeah, we don't know what
they're cloning. They're cloning him. It's for cloning. They're taking the midichlorians out of the Baby Yoda.
We'll see.
We'll see.
It's his biological son. You figure it out. You don't know how
Maybe.
the species reproduces.
But we get one final reveal this season.
I stood up on my 2 feet when I saw this reveal. We get some scavengers coming to the old TIE fighter.
Some Jawas.
I hate Jawas so much. God.
But not only is this shot incredible, it's just a gorgeous looking shot.
Yeah.
But Moff Gideon is in possession of the Darksaber.
The Darksaber just cuts a healthy square through the...
I don't know what that means.
It is important, we can tell you that much.
It's from Star Wars Rebels and Star Wars The Clone Wars. There is one Darksaber in existence, and it was the weapon of the first Mandalorian who became a Jedi.
Yeah, and that's actually the second, I think with this last episode, they do the full flashback of his parents' death, and we get to see, not only we get the Darksaber, which is like insane to see in live action, because it also just looks cool, but the Death Watch saves
That's true.
Din, and like they're the ones who find him as a foundling and like bring him into the Mandalorian clan, so... We're really digging into the old lore of the Mandalorians, and I am very, very happy with all of it.
Filoni has really established his own set of rules in the Star Wars universe. Honestly, I think in 30 years we're going to look back on Dave Filoni with having as much influence in the world building of the Star Wars universe as somebody like George Lucas.
I agree, and I hope so, because whenever he gets the reins, everything he touches turns into absolute gold. So I'm all for it.
I cannot wait for fall 2020 when The Mandalorian comes back on Disney+.
Oh, is that set? Is that like official?
Fall 2020, season
nice.
2. John Favreau tweeted it out, but don't think we're done with our weekly recaps yet, because literally next week, The Good Place comes back. So
very excited.
Hell is Other Podcasters will be back for like a few episodes.
Yeah,
and then we'll have our own...
It's not the finale?
It's not the finale, no. We have 3 or 4 weeks left.
Cool.
And then we're going to do our special finale Good Place episode where we will only be talking about the Good Place finale.
That'll be a good one. We'll be counting down our favorite gags.
But for next week's episode, we'll be breaking down the new mid-season, the first episode after the mid-season break for the Good Place. So tune in for that next week for our next Hello's Other Podcasters.
And real quick, before we completely detach from The Mandalorian, I just want to hear just one good guess. Just a good prediction of where you think this is headed past the idea of trying to get Baby Yoda home. Like, I want to hear, like, another thing akin to Arms and Legs robot showing up, just, like, something crazy.
I think we're going to get into the origins of the First Order. I think that's the end game for this show.
Oh, that's right. I read somewhere that they're going to start introducing like established characters into this. Which
I hope they don't do that, but
at least I hope they do it well. Don't ruin this for
Admiral
me.
Holdo season, guys. Get ready.
I think Holdo is a character that would actually be interesting to
that
fit
would be a little more, backstory.
Or like Poe Dameron's parents, who are in the
cool.
comics but aren't in the movies. So
yeah, stuff like that I'd be more than happy with, because I think that's definitely like later down the line, but it has to end with like.
I swear to God, if Palpatine's in this one too.
Yes, get Ian McDermott back.
I mean, hey, they already corporate synergized with the force healing stuff. So anyway, let's save the rec center, guys. So I'll go ahead and go first on my Save the Rec Center. I just saw a couple days ago Little Women, the new
kidding.
Greta Gerwig film with Saoirse Ronan, Emma Watson, Laura Dern, Florence Pugh, all of them. Go nuts. All the women, and they're tiny. Every single one.
Real little.
I've never read it, which I cannot believe I'd never read it because it's one of my mom's favorite books. But it's a really wonderful film. Saoirse Ronan is incredible in it. She playing the lead character, Joe. It's on 35mm at the Music Box in Chicago and the Oriental in Milwaukee until January 9th. If that's something that interests anybody, I highly recommend you go. I did not get to see it in 35. I just went to see it at Marcus. But yeah, I'm sure it would look gorgeous. It was shot on 35mm film. Timothy Chalamet, he's in there. Chris Cooper. I really recommend it. I went in expecting to like it. I thought it was fantastic, though.
Wow. All right, maybe I have to get up in that.
Seamus, what's your rec center?
My rec center this week, I'm keeping it. I can't get enough Star Wars these days, boys. Let me tell you, I got Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order for Christmas, and it's the best Star Wars game I've played in ages. It's like almost a mix between like if Dark Souls met Uncharted in the Star Wars universe. If that doesn't sell it for you, I don't know what will, because it's just like everything's fantastic. It is canon in universe, which is interesting.
That, yeah.
So if you really are trying to keep up with everything in the new canon, give it a shot for more than just that, because it's fantastic.
I hear you get to go to the planet that will someday become Starkiller Base in that game.
Does that planet get
I did not know that.
Well, I don't.
Maybe I've been there already, and I don't even know.
I don't think it's part of the plot that it's going to be Starkiller Base, but I've heard that that's an in-canon thing.
I will say there are a couple familiar planets you get to explore. I don't even want to go too far into which ones, but I will say, Ricardo, if you have any more interest in the Night Sisters, check it out. They make appearances. It's very cool. Yeah, that's what I got. Ricardo, what's on your rec center this week?
Y'all remember Mouse Hunt?
Yeah, I remember Mouse Hunt.
How good is Mouse Hunt? It's a 90s movie about Nathan Lane, and I forget the actor that plays his brother in the movie. Lee Evans, I want to say. And it's basically just live action Tom and Jerry. It's two brothers, they inherit a house, and they're trying to renovate it because it's worth a lot of money. Because it's the missing LaRue, this very, pish-posh architecture relic, but there's a mouse in it, and they got to get rid of the mouse if they want to sell the house, and then shenanigans ensue. It's very silly. It's a fun slapstick cartoon.
Am I misremembering this movie, or is there something in the will where they have to get rid of a mouse before they can move into it, or am I crazy?
No, they get the house through a will. Their dad dies and leaves them this old junk house.
It's definitely a weird movie, but I remember it being absolutely hilarious.
I saw it a long time ago, and I remember loving it.
Nathan Lane is fantastic in everything he's in, but this especially, he just plays a scumbag, and he's hilarious.
Nathan Lane is perhaps best at playing a scumbag out of all of his roles. All right, well, that's been our opener for season 2. Again, sorry about the echo, but in a couple weeks that'll all be gone. Hopefully, for next week we'll be able to find a different place to record that won't sound like this, but we'll see.
Let all acquaintance be forgotten.
God bless us, everyone.
To my friend Seamus, the richest man in the Chicago Public Library.